All right. What up, traders? Super excited for today's video. We're going to be looking at the Morpheus network, okay? Ticker symbol MNW. We're starting off on the weekly chart, all right? We had some very nice signals here. I'm going to go over them and break it down for you guys, and you're going to learn a lot in this video, and you're really going to enjoy it, okay? The first thing we're looking at here is a descending wedge, all right, indicated by this trend line and this trend line here. It's known as a falling wedge as well, and it's actually a bullish pattern, right, where eventually you get the breakout from here, and you're going to look to see if we can come back up to where the pattern began, right? That would be a perfect play out. And not every time the breakout is perfect. So it's very good to have some bullish price targets. All right. And we actually just recently hit our first bullish price target. We'll go over how we got those levels, and then we'll go over the key support levels down here, how I got those. But before we do that, let's go back into this pattern, right? So we had a bullish chart pattern. All right. That's the first thing on our list, right? When it comes to the multiple indicators that we had for possible entry and buy signals, right? Then what we did was we made a low here and we made a lower low, all right? But if we take a look at the relative strength index, there's a divergence where we have a low and then a higher low, all right? So we have this nice bullish divergence trend line on the relative strength index, meaning that as Morpheus network was, going lower, okay, and the price of it was actually dropping, the relative strength was actually increasing, okay? This is known as bullish divergence. It's an indicator you may see some bullish activity in the future, right? And then right here, we have a nice MACD buy signal where the blue line, okay, crosses above this orange line. And once it does this and it has a nice space above this orange line here, it's bullish, okay? This is a bullish signal signifying that there's, potential bullishness going to happen in the future, right? So the first thing, falling wedge, right? That was number one, right? And then number two, we had bullish divergence with the low, lower low, and the low, higher low. And number three, okay, was our MACD buy signal. So that's really, really good stuff right there. A lot of times you're not going to get three signals. The best thing to do is to try to use a combination of signals, right? Because no one signal is 100%. But once you start to combine signals and you can get two or three or more, signals that there may be some bullishness, then you can have a little bit more confidence in your trade. Now, none of this is meant to be financial advice, just informational and informative, hopefully a little educational as well. Now, we'll go over the recent price action and those support levels and how I actually got this price target here that we just topped out at. To do that, we'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit to the daily chart just so you can see it a little bit more and understand it, a little bit more. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll zoom in here on this right here like that. And we'll make it nice and clear for everyone. Okay. I'm also going to drag this over a little bit just so we can go right here and break that down for you guys. All right. So we already looked at the wedge. All right. And the wedge has price targets higher than our bullish price targets. But as I said before, you may not always get the pattern to play out perfectly. So what we did here was we're using the Fibonacci's to give us mathematical price targets, okay? Because most trading is done by algorithms, whether you believe it or not. A large majority of trades are done by algos, okay? So we took our swing high to our swing low here, okay, after this nice rally, okay, we came back, we pulled back, and I wanted to see where we could go to the upside. So you use the fibs, take your swing high to your swing low, and it's going to give you valid price targets to the upside, right? And they're all over here, listed over here. And then ultimately we have these, and this one as well, right? So that's where I got these three bullish price targets from. And we're taking a look at those and we can see that that's exactly where we topped out at was our 261.8 Fibonacci extension. So that's really good to see. And as a result of that, you're seeing some profit taking. Okay, lots of algos, lots of traders. They're all looking at this and they're taking profit. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be bearish and sell, and that momentum can't continue. If we look at the MACD on our daily chart, all right, we're still bullish. All right, we're still trading way above the orange line. Once you get your blue line to cross below the orange line, that's going to be a sell signal that we may see some, bearishness up here in the future. All right. And then we can take a look at our relative strength index. All right. And if we come up here to the relative strength index, Recently it was above 70. All right, so above 70, all right, which is going to be this dotted line right here. It means that it's overbought, right? So you never really want to buy something, or it's not, it doesn't mean that something can't go up just because it's at overbought levels. But it's generally not a good idea to buy something when it's very overbought on the relative strength index above 70. So what we're seeing is we're seeing it creep down below, and it's actually just tiptoeing just below 70. So what that means is that, it's no longer overbought, right? Especially after this nice little pullback, we might see some healthy consolidation. Now, this range in between here, between 0.94, all right, and 1.59, which was our first bullish price target, this is going to be the chop zone, okay? So this is kind of like our chop zone, and we're going to chop around in this area until we come down to either support, all right, or to our bullish price targets to the upside, all right? Now, where am I getting these support levels from? Well, what we're doing is we're using the Fibonacci formula, and instead of looking for bullish price targets to the upside, we're going to look for the retracement to the downside and where this thing could find support at. All right, so what we've done is we've taken the lows here, okay? We've taken the previous lows on the chart and connected it to the most recent high, and it's given us the 50%, 61.8%, and 78.6% retracement levels. And as you see, we came down here right near our 50% retracement level. We're starting to see buyers stepping in, right? It's pushing the candles a little bit higher. And, this is going to be your main areas of support. So, if things do continue pulling back, all right, this is going to be the key levels that you really want to watch it bounce on for a continuation to the upside, most preferably the 61.8. All right, that's the golden ratio. So that's, if it does, zigzag its way down here to this level, that's going to be a level that everyone's eyes are watching. It's going to be 0.789. So make sure you have that charted up. And, we may just consolidate. We may not even come down to these levels. We may just consolidate, move a little bit sideways before breaking through our previous bullish price target and coming up here to hitting the next one. So the bullish price targets to the upside are 195 and then 218. And to go over all of the support levels that I'm really watching, it's going to be 0.94, 0.78, and then 0.57. All right. So that's basically it for today's video. Just wanted to go over that. This coin has been on a mega rally. If you got in on the original buy signals, okay, that we went over on the weekly chart, right? This thing went up 440% in 100 days, really probably about 130 days. So big stuff happening. All right, I know it's been a crypto winter, but that doesn't mean that every token has to go down. All right, there's always a bull market somewhere, and it just takes a little bit of research and diligence to find one.